My name is Gurpreet Singh Walia. I think that okay. I practice in the U.S. in New York. I represent generic pharmaceutical companies in primarily in ANDA litigation. I'm going to talk about. Excuse me. This thing has stopped working. I'm going to talk about coordinating litigation in the Patent Trial and Appeal Board and the district courts. So the PTAB, which is the Patent Trial and Appeal Board, is an administrative board in the USPTO. It handles. It was created by the America Invents Act. It handles post-grant proceedings for challenging patents. It cannot make any determinations on infringement. It can only rule on patent validity. And a decision of the PTAB can be appealed to the Federal Circuit. There are 4 types of PTAB trials: 3 to invalidate patents, which are the PGR, the post-grant review, the inter-party review, which replaced the inter-party re-examination, and the covered business method review. There's the 4th proceedings called derivations, which are special proceedings to establish whether an invention in a patent was derived from another inventor. It applies to patent applications containing a claim with an effective filing date on or after March 16, 2013. So we're going to concentrate on the 3 proceedings where you can invalidate, where you can try and invalidate patents. The IPR, which is the inter-party review, was effective 9/16/2012. It applies to all patents issued before, on, or after September 16, 2012. It's for patents issued under the first inventor to file regime and also under the first to invent regime. The PGR applies to patents, which is post-grant review, applies to patents with effective filing date on or after March 16, 2013, and it's only for first inventor to file patents. The CBMR, which is the covered business method review, is effective 16th of September 2012, and it's again for patents which are first inventor to file or first to invent. This is a transitional program. It primarily involves financial products, and it ends on 9/16/2020. So, the deadlines. PGR, it must be filed within 9 months from the issue of a patent or reissue date of a patent. Usually, patent owners do not file an infringement suit within the first 9 months of patent issuing. So therefore, PGRs are usually not a choice for defendants sued for patent infringement in district court. Now, IPRs must be filed within 1 year of the petitioner being served with an infringement complaint and must be filed prior to seeking a declaratory judgment challenging the validity of the patent. This IPRs cannot be filed while PGR is pending or still available. Therefore, it cannot be filed within 9 months from the issue date or reissue date of a patent. CBMR, likewise, cannot be filed when a PGR is still pending. And as mentioned, it is for claiming methods or corresponding apparatus for data processing or other operations used in financial products, but it excludes patents covering technological inventions. Now, the timelines of a PTAB trial, these are fixed by statute. Within 3 months of a petitioner applying for a PTAB petition, the patent owner's preliminary response is due. 3 months after that, which is 6 months within filing, the PTAB has to make a decision whether to grant institution of a PTAB trial or not. These are all fixed by statute. 12 months from this point, which is 6 months after the petition is filed, 12 months after this point, the PTAB has to give a written decision. This can be extended by 6 months for good cause. So at this point, when the PTAB gives the decision to institute a PTAB trial, which is either an IPR or a PGR or a CMBR, within the next 3 months, the patent owner has to file a response and motion to amend any claims. You can amend claims in the PTAB trial as opposed to DC litigation, district court litigation. Within the next 3 months, the petitioner has to reply to the patent owner's response and opposition to motion to amend any claims. Within the next month after that, which is the 7th month now after the PTAB has been instituted, the patent owner can reply to opposition of amending the claims by the petitioner. There's an oral hearing on request. For the next 5 months, there's a period of observations and motions to exclude evidence. And then within 12 months, which may be extended by 6 months for good cause, the final PTAB decision has to be given by statute. So this course is fixed. Usually within 1.5 to 2 years, you have a decision, which is usually much faster than district court litigation. Now, the burden of proof for instituting a PTAB trial for inter-party review is reasonable likelihood that one claim would be held invalid. For a PGR or CBMR, it's more likely than not that one claim would be held invalid. This is basically your threshold to get in the door of the PTAB to get a trial instituted. Reasonable likelihood is considered in the PTAB a lower standard than more likely than not burden for PGR and CBMR, reasonable likelihood being for the IPR trials. Now, once you're in the door, to invalidate the claims in district court, as opposed to district court where you need a clear and convincing standard, in PTAB, you just need preponderance of evidence standard, which is lower than the clear and convincing standard in district courts. So therefore, it's easier to invalidate, I would think, claims in the PTAB compared to district court. Now, grounds for challenge. These grounds are different. For IPR, it's for, you can challenge on the basis of 102, which is anticipation, 103, which is obviousness, and you can only use it on basis of patents or printed publications only. There's no 101 statutory eligible patent subject matter challenges or 112 challenges for IPR review. As opposed to that, in PGR and CBMR, you can pretty much attack on any grounds, including 101, which is statutory eligible subject matter, 102 anticipation, 103 obviousness, and 112, which is lack of written description or failure to claim with required clarity, or double patenting. But you can't use best mode to challenge this PGR or CBMR. There's an exception for CBMR, which is it doesn't permit 1 or 2 e-art challenges, which is a situation where a US patent application is filed before the priority date, but not published until after the priority date. Now, and also in PGR, you can use other 102 and 103 challenges, which are like the on-sale bar or the public use. Now, for PTAB challenges, a petitioner requires, the requirements are the claims, you have to identify the claims to be challenged, the grounds for the challenge, include all supporting evidence, which may include expert opinions and other declarations, and must identify all real parties in interest. Now, who's a petitioner? Petitioner in a PGR is a person who's not the patent holder and has not previously filed a district court action challenging the validity of the patent. Now, of note, counterclaim does not count as a district court action for this purpose. In an IPR, the petitioner is not a patent owner, has not previously filed a district court action challenging the validity of the patent, and has not been served with a complaint alleging infringement of the patent more than 1 year prior. So you have to file the IPR within a year of getting a complaint for infringement. And again, counterclaim does not count as DC action for this purpose. Amending claims, as opposed to district court where you cannot amend the claims, in PGR and IPR, you can amend claims in the PTAB trials. What you can do is cancel claims or propose a reasonable number of substitute claims. You cannot increase the scope of the claims or add new subject matter. To amend, you can only amend the claims which are grounds of patentability involved in the PTAB trials. In other words, the patents have to be involved in the PTAB trial. You just can't pick up other claims and start amending them. Must show written description support in the original disclosure of the patent for each claim that is being amended, and must show patentability over prior art references applied to the original patent claims. Now, of note is that if the patent owner amends the claims, it can affect his or her ability to obtain past damages in district court. At this point, the petitioner who's challenging the patent should also search for additional prior art that may lead to preventing the claims being amended. However, if the petitioner has strong non-infringement arguments based on the amended claims, then he doesn't really need to worry too much because it's not going to affect him much in district court litigation. Now, this is important, which is estoppel resulting from PTAB trials. So essentially what happens is once you have a final decision in the PTAB, for PGR and IPR, you are estopped from using any grounds which you raised or reasonably could have raised during the proceeding. Same estoppel applies in district court. You are stopped from using any grounds which you could have used or reasonably could have used during the PGR or IPR. Now, the estoppel limitations are more narrow for the CBMR reviews, where you can only raise, we only stop from using grounds which you raised, not reasonably could have raised during the proceeding. I just want to keep a track of my own time. So, major differences from PTAB and district court. Claim construction standards, they are broader. In PTAB, you give the broadest reasonable construction in light of the specification standards, which is advantageous for petitioners for obviousness and anticipation grounds. In district court, the claim term is given the meaning that the term would have to a person of ordinary skill in the art in question at the time of the invention. There's no presumption of validity in PTAB. There is a presumption in district court. The burden of proof of challenger is lower in the PTAB, as we mentioned. Now, this is important. The decisions made in the PTAB is by 3 judges, and they usually have a background in the patent subject matter, as opposed to a district court judge who probably doesn't have any background in the patent subject matter. The time frame, as mentioned, they're from filing to the end of the, to getting the PTAB decision, it's usually less than 2 years. It could be much longer in district court litigation. The costs are usually much lower in PTAB, primarily because the time frame is smaller and the discovery is much more limited as compared to district court litigation. Now, what kind of PTAB challenges to file? One can choose to file only the claims asserted in district court, or you can add additional claims. The benefits of only filing asserted claims in the district court is the price factor. The more the claims, the increase in the PTAB fees. Also, the major factor is 60 pages of there's a page limit. So you have to restrict your arguments in 60 pages for IPR, 80 pages for CBMR and PGR. However, there's a way to get around it, and the way to get around the page limit is you can file multiple petitions. The benefits of challenging additional claims, it may increase settlement leverage. Now, reasons to file multiple PTAB petitions, as I just mentioned earlier,